Droning. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Onward VR Master League. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's, and I will be your captain today. It's just you and me on this rocky boat that is this matchup. Quite frankly, I'm not sure what to expect. Globochem on a bit of a rough patch. The first time we've seen it, the first time I've seen it, in VRML history, they are having a bit of a sour spot in the season. They are usually perfect, quite literally, throughout the entire season, going undefeated in several seasons before. I believe they lost in a Button Cup matchup last season as well. But they nearly lost to Blaze last weekend. They lost to Animal House the week before that. They are definitely showing signs of weakness, in my opinion, and I'm curious to see if G-Men are going to be coming into this round with some serious focus and attitude, because, I mean, it's an opportunity for G-Men to grab some MMR here for sure. When we take a look at the overall matchmaking rating of both teams, G-Men's at 1270. Globochem is at 1300, so a 30 MMR disparity. Like we've been talking about in some other top tier matchups, it's very rare to get that sort of MMR disparity. SMC versus beginners, for example, very hard to find a decent chunk of MMR to compete against. And now is definitely an opportunity for G-Men to press this wavering. I shouldn't say weak. They're definitely still the dominant team in the league. They still hold their #1 spot. Is it #1 spot? Actually, I'm curious if they are. I think they might be behind. I don't know. I don't know where the stands are. Yeah, they are #1 now. Although they're tied for beginners in MMR. They did go to #1. SMC moved up to #3. They're tied for 3rd with Danglers, but they are ahead in overall points. Wow. Beginners are actually ahead in overall points as well over Globochem, but they've lost less maps overall as well. A lot of numbers getting thrown at you here. I realize that, and yeah, it's just a lot to assess. There's tons of little details here that we can analyze and ponder upon. Take a look at the rosters before we get into it. From Globochem, we have Thunderpilot, Otto, Pants, Raffello, Toast. Raffello, that's a new way to say it. I don't know why I said it like that, but let's go with it, dude. Raffello, Toast, Arsenic, Mixologist, and Norseman. And over on G-Men, we have Miracle Dev, Biggie Smalls, 404, Dr. Leo Marvin, Swooty, The Man, Brass to Mouth, and Zach Fontaine. And I think, at least to my surprise, there's going to be a sub in this series. Oof, duh, man. Yeah. Gattaca in the lobby now for Globochem. We're still waiting on a 5th. I thought this was only going to be an issue. Wow. Curious. Very curious. We can throw up the pick band since we do have them. Coming in from Globochem. We got the Suburbia band. And coming in from G-Men, we have the Q1 band. So, close quarters maps getting taken away. Brings us down to Downfall, Cargo, Bazaar, Subway, and Tanker as our available pool. As you may have astutely noticed, is that the word? You hear the waves crashing in the background. We are going to be going to Tanker for map #1. And yeah, I am curious to see how this goes. I mean, this is a first, watching Globo not be able to field a roster. You have Auto Thunder and Raph, but I mean, we went over that they have these strong. I mean, arguably some of the strongest shooters and players in this game on their roster: Pants, Toast, Arsenic, Mixologist, and Norseman. If they can't manage to get any of those guys to come into this lobby, they're going to be struggling. I'm going to take a look, see if we can see. Yeah, I'm sure G-Men are reaching out to online reservists now to try and get that 5th, or we're just patiently waiting. Either way, an interesting, lingering start. You know, it's something that I haven't really ever had to consider, but a #1 team needing reservists. Wow. Like, do they have... We talk about how skilled the reservists are. You know, that's definitely a point that we tend to bring up, is that the pool of reservists is very strong. It's filled with players that can play pretty dang regularly, just not on a scheduled basis. So they have tough times being able to join a team and play and practice daily. But they are still very skilled players. Gattaca is an excellent shooter in the VRML and that reservist pool. But I'm curious who else they are reaching out to, or if, like we've been saying, they're just waiting for that 5th. I'm looking in the appropriate channels, and I'm not seeing any outreach for a sub or anything like that. So I'm curious what their plan is. I think they do have 15 minutes at round start before they have to take a sub, before they have to take a timeout. So we do have this pre-set phase. What it does do, though, is it gives G-Men a lot of time to strategize and think about their tanker strats. They can come into this map feeling confident on all the objectives, knowing exactly where to go. I'm sure they're reviewing this stuff right now, you know, just to make sure that they have all the appropriate positions locked down, and you know where the spawns are coming from, etc. Raph now dropping from the lobby as well, so we're down to 3 for Globochem. I'm sure it's just, maybe, ideally it's just some tech difficulties on one of their player sides. They can hash it out and we can get back into the, or we can get into the mix. We haven't even started the series yet. We're still waiting this round start. Curious times indeed. I mean, I can imagine there are plenty of players that would be interested in joining Globo's roster if they are having roster issues. You know, a team that's been around that long with players with, you know, a captain like Thunder and, you know, the brother duo. It's I'm sure if they're having, you know, but I don't know. I don't know the inside details. I'm not quite so privy to those. We don't have journalist deep diving, although maybe the community is more aware of some of the troubles they've been experiencing. But thank you for stopping in today. If you are just dropping by, should be now shaping up to be a pretty dang interesting series. I mean, talking earlier just about how Globo's shown a bit of a weakness the last 2 maps. We have some folks saying that it wasn't too much of a beating from Blaze, so much as Blaze getting kind of a burst of points on one of their maps. but I don't know. A lot of popcorn to be had, I'm sure, but about the speculation of what could be. All we can really do, I suppose. Also, I'm seeing some real bad jokes in chat. Appreciate that, Llewellyn. Or do I? We are still waiting on 2 members of Globochem now to join into the lobby. Raph has left. Hopefully not in a fit of rage, but more in a fit of reset. And he will be back to join the Globo lobby. But curious times. Curious times ahead. I'm wondering who they're going to be filling this roster with and when, quite frankly. We're now 12 minutes past start time, so either one of their timeouts is used or they're going to have to use one shortly. Trying to reach out here, find exactly what's going on. We can get the precise details for you. Raph back in lobby, so we're up to 4 for Globochem. He has returned, and we're still waiting on that 5th, and we'll be underway. Mix, yeah. Seems like some tough scheduling issues with Globo, as we have all experienced. Travel and whatnot, especially around these holiday times, does become tough to deal with. Now Mix. It does look like they are in need of another reservist, so I think they're going to be slotting for 2 reservists today. Should make it a little bit more challenging for Globo. I think we had this talk last time though, and I can't remember how the reservists fared. I think they. I mean, from what I remember casting, I think it was. Which match was it? They all start to kind of blur together. It might have been an Animal House Mayhem match. I think Mayhem was using a sub. Gosh, I can't remember. But I think it was Pause who was doing real well. Gattaca, like we said, a skilled shooter, so he's a nice addition to that Globo lineup. Obviously, Thunder, Raph, and Otto work very well together as a 3-man team anyway, but this is a very squad-based game, so to not have your full roster and to go up against a team like G-Men, who I believe, let's see what their overall ranking is. In the standings worldwide, they are 6th right now. Vikings, and from the EU, actually pushing them down from 5th place. Otherwise, it would be a starkly NA-dominated top 5. G-Men, Danglers, SMC Tactical, and Globochem Beginners being the only EU team there, and Vikings now in the 5th spot. But if G-Men can take this match against Globochem, definitely going to bump them up a decent chunk of MMR. They may even be competing for that third place tie between SMC and Danglers. So things could get real interesting in this top 5, depending on how this series shakes out. And I do anticipate we're going to have to probably take a timeout on one of these teams' sides if we haven't already. So I appreciate you guys hanging in there. I think we may cut to an intermission while we wait for this fifth. It does look like we had a lobby reset as well. On that, maybe we'll be able to get into this lobby shortly. Hopefully they've gotten that fifth, and we'll be back in with this rehost, but we are going to break it to an intermission. Thank you guys for hanging in there. We should be into the action shortly. I'm going to see if I can figure out all the details and come back to you in just a minute or two, so don't go anywhere. We are going to be diving into map number 1 very soon, and it will be Tanker. No more waiting. We have the active roster for today from Globochem. It is Otto, Raf, Gattaca, Thunder, Pilot, and Sri Lankan to cap off that wild 5-man roster.
Okay. We need players. I mean someone else too. Okay, cool.
We're about to see how Globochem will square off against G-Men. Rank 1 worldwide versus rank 6, 30 MMR disparity here. So a chance for G-Men to climb the ladder. And we'll see if Globochem can deny them that opportunity. And if these subs can prove to be helpful enough to this 3-man Globochem roster. See Raf missing that rifle over his shoulder. He usually rolls around with companion. You see G-Men taking up very similar positions to SMC. I mean, these are standard defensive spots here in these windows. Can't be penetrated. Unlike a lot of other one-pane windows in the game, these ones are impenetrable. Bulletproof glass there. 404 also taking a forward position on the corner. He'll be waiting for footsteps and to be taking any shots as soon as he has the opportunity. What a time to be alive, huh? Never thought I would see Globo running 2 reservists. I never thought I would see the #1 team in the VRML run 2 reservists, but here we are. I mean, what a time to be a reservist too. Really helping promote that pool. If you do want to play in the league and you don't want to play consistently, you may be playing with the #1 team in the world if you get the chance. Couple of nades into these forward positions. A fantastic flash right onto the head of 404 blinds him, but there's no follow-up push, so it goes a bit unutilized. Otto now behind the shield of one of his teammates. The shield rounding the corner. Raph does spot 404. I wonder if 404 is disconnected or he's unaware. And it does look like it would have been a DC, in my opinion. I'm not sure what 404 was doing there. Raph ran around, knifes him on the corner. No answer back there. C4 detonated in the center as the push from Globo comes in under this spoke. Miracle Dev should see Otto in this window. You're going to get an awkward bit of an exchange and fire here as the trade goes through. A double kill, excuse me, on both ends. Raph there with the pistol shots, almost grabbing Brass to mouth. He should be able to pop a syringe in there, but not before Thunder catches him on the rotation. Now G-Men down to 2 as Zach Fontaine tries to defend this center. Thunder catches him out. Sri Lankan continues the push, and he may be able to actually punch in the code here as he goes down. In a team kill, shot in the back by one of his friendlies. He'll get picked up quickly, and Sri Lankan will go back into this corner here to cap, but instead finds the man. And Globochem, in a very strong fashion, take the round from G-Men on Marsoc to kick off this tanker. What do I know, dude? 2 reservists and you roll over G-Men on their defense. Granted, they did have what seemed to me to be 1 DC, but wow. An impressive round 1 from the G-Men, or sorry, from the Globochem squad. And a very unfortunate disconnect for G-Men. Hopefully they can recover from that. It is early in this series, so not a lot to be lost. And luckily there was no cap there, so. Yeah, we are still waiting for that 5th from G-Men to get back in, so I'm assuming it was a, I don't know, maybe a full PC failure and to do some sort of reconnect, but either way. Definitely was a disconnect there for 404. Added the angle there on Raph as soon as he peeked. I'm sure he would have pushed that shield. But really, who knows what could have happened. 404's presence there, but I think he may have DC'd pretty early too, now that I'm thinking about it. .404 back in the lobby, so we should be into our second round shortly. Does look like round number 2 has begun. Again, thank you for dropping in for this matchup. It is going to be an interesting one if I would have to put my money on it. G-Men here with their active 5, looking at trying to take a series from Globochem, running 2 reservists. Gattaca and Sri Lankan. Granted, they did just dominate that Marsoc round, so we'll see if G-Men can do something similar here as they go on the offensive for round 2 and map number 1. See that early, well, a bit of underground aggression, I suppose, from G-Men. They are really heavily banking that no defenders are going to be down here. Now they've gone in a crouch as they get close to where there are people in defensive positions, because now they need to remain silent. The audio cues can be heard underneath Gattaca and Thunder, so if Zach and the man are picked up as moving down here, it will be information for Globochem. 404 getting himself into a spot where Wrath may be able to catch him out if he decides to move any further. Definitely hear those footsteps to his left, and now he's also cautious about a potential flank from Brass to Mouth on his backside as well. Raph peaks just a bit too late. Doesn't catch the rotation from Brass there. 404 and Brass to Mouth definitely going to be in Raphael's line of sight soon, though. Shots from 404. Raph may now peak on this if he does want to grab that angle. Nice flash from 404 to deny vision on the front side for Press Fire coming in through the window, but again, that's not going to do much. And here comes the push from 404. He does manage to find Thunder, but not before getting shot from the side. Brass to Mouth finds Gattaca, and now Raph's looking for some more kills. The man downs Otto, and they're actually coming in on the backside here. C4 grabs 2. Sri Lankan denies the back entry, and now Brass to Mouth charging in forward, catches 1, and now it's down into a 2v1 for Globo. Scratch that 2v2. Otto getting scooped up by Sri Lankan, and now Brass to Mouth looking at a potential cap opportunity as he crashes forward. Shots ring in from Otto, missed shots from Brass to Mouth, and we're getting into a bit of a trade here in the cellars. Now we're down into a 1v1. Globochem, incredibly lucky with their downs, are able to pick up Sri Lankan, both now in a situation where there is no res available, and it all comes down to a Miracle Dev as he tries to push in on the objective. Does spot Otto out, misses the shots. Otto gonna go for the repeak, no, doesn't. Tries to go off the reload and catches out a Miracle Dev. Globochem with a fantastic C4 from Sri Lankan on the backside. Hold on to this round and push their lead 2-0. Whoa. Whoa, guys, huh? I mean, what a massive C4 from Sri Lankan. They had a nade that caught Otto. He was down, and then as they started to charge up, Sri Lankan detonating that C4, coming around the corner to finish off both those kills, scoops up Otto, and then they go in and manage to just hold on to that defensive rotation. Clutch plays from the reservists there as the reservist pool continues to prove me wrong that they actually hinder a team. I think now I may start arguing that they help the teams. I'm not sure so much if they are really such a bad thing to be pulling from. But hey, match is underway. Globo, I mean, in standard Globo fashion, take a 2-0 lead on Tanker. This is their map pick. I think it's important to remember.
And so I think we may want to go another way.
And it's actually kind of a rare opportunity to hear strat talk from Globochem, because usually they have their plans so tightly locked in they don't have to discuss rotations or where they're going to go. Here they do have to make sure they're communicating with Sri Lankan and Gattaca what their general plan is. Shots on the other side do catch out Zach Fontaine. That's a big pickup from Otto to open up that lane. Should allow him to come up very nicely through here, go into this middle L, be a serious threat to some of these defensive positions like Miracle Dev and Brass to Mouth. We'll see how they decide to hold. Out there down to 4. Minimap is bugged. There are 4 alive. The Blast 1 404 there on the backside. Defending for potential flank, which does look like it may be slowly coming, although Thunder may be going to the stairs. I do think he's going to be slowly rotating his way around to that backside. But it looks likely. But like I said, he could also be opting for the stairs there. He'll meet up with Gattaca and push that lane that Otto managed to grab a pick on, which they now have completely undefended. Here comes the push. Completely unguarded. Brass to Mouth, however, with a little flank, could find 1, 2, or 3 if he's fortunate enough and patient enough, or he's unlucky here. Otto might catch him out, and he does ID them, but he doesn't take the shots. Otto might be able to get around this corner before Brass can do anything, and now Brass is relocating, and wow, what a fortunate pair there. Thunder catches out the man on the stairs, and now it is down to these two and 404 on the backside, who is now rotating in. He may be able to catch out Gattaca and Otto, who do just take down Brass to Mouth. 404 does come in just around the corner. He's cautious. He's radioing in. Otto dialed in here. Catches out the shield. Otto peeking the corner. Looks for 404. 404 not ready for the follow-up frag. Miracle Dev catching out Raph with a hard peek, and now he's all alone. Does catch out Sri Lankan as well. A good double. Can he find Otto? He can. His head gets dialed in, and Otto grabs Globochem with their 3rd round in a row on Tanker. Quick reminder, if you do have Twitch Prime, make sure to check if you have your sub available, and toss 1 free sub your way over to VR Master League. Get some sweet emotes like the clutch emote and that Dante emote. Who doesn't want those, quite frankly? Also, the support goes right back in to the league, helps fund the casting, the mods. Gives us some great new stuff that we're going to be rolling out here in a couple of weeks. It's going to blow your dang craniums right off the lids. But we'll make sure to warn you to wear your helmets and tape your brains on so that nothing like that does happen, because it's going to be nuts. That's all I'm going to say for now, right before we hop into round number 4 of this kind of nuts game that we're having right here. Globochem able to take 3 rounds up against the active roster of G-Men with 2 reservists. Globochem too strong. Look at this, a bit of aggression from G-Men. They are getting a bit forward here. Brass to Mouth experiencing a bit of fire from Gattaca, and that should be information that there is some people here. The man oddly standing up with the shield there, maybe trying to bait out a shot. Zach Fontaine with shots up over the top. Thunder catching 404, getting aggressive on the opposite side, actually up top. Oh, interesting, and that's why I was curious why Thunder dropped back and went upstairs, and he was trying to deny that potential flank. Now he may be able to continue this push here and be a threat to the backside of this defense if he decides to come down the stairs. Gattaca is going to be the next one to run into some of these. Oh, he just doesn't spot any of it. Both of them crouched underneath and not being able to identify over the crates. Oh, the man is ready. Gattaca has gone upstairs, Thunder upstairs as well, and they actually have a bit of a weak hold on this defense. If Miracle Dev and the rest of this team can sync up and push up the center, they may have a real opportunity. A nice nade comes in, does damage Raph. He's incredibly lucky that that doesn't down him. I'm unsure really how he doesn't go down, but he is fortunate enough to stay alive. Gattaca catches out Zach Fontaine on one side. The man's about to be flanked as Gattaca catches him out on the backside again. And here comes the push from Brass to Mouth, and now he's in trouble as Thunder's coming in behind him. Will he be ready for that flank? In the smoke, he's not. He goes down, and now it's all up to Miracle Dev to hold on to this map. In a 1v5, it's going to be a tall order as he peeks the center and goes up against the entirety of Globochem. Wow. Not what I was expecting for this first round, that's to say the least. 4-0 for Globochem on their first map pick. Wow. Tanker not going the way of G-Men, and now G-Men try to, I don't know, an interesting pick. They go for a Cargo for map number 2, just after experiencing a bit of a shellacking on that close quarters tanker map. They switched to another close quarters map, Cargo, what tanker was based off of. I'm curious to see how they're going to fare up against this squad here on map number 2. Thank you guys for tuning in to this matchup today. G-Men with an opportunity, a golden opportunity, some would say, in their hands, going up against a weakened roster for Globochem, if you can say that. They have 2 reservists here, but have managed to take map number 1 in dominating fashion regardless. Sri Lankan and Gattaca still managed to contribute enough to Globochem to make them effective. And to be honest, look at that KD. I think it was Thunder and Otto, both with 7 kills on that map, so a bit of a hard carry from the brothers, but 404 kicking this one off with an early pick. Raft goes down, and now the push coming in rather quickly from G-Men. The man and Zach Fontaine trying to utilize their combo. Wow, and a good block from the man. Saves Zach Fontaine. He botches the nade he had in his hand in a bit of a panic. Gattaca rotating around to the backside, and the man with a fantastic couple of moves there denies the grenade and takes out Gattaca. What a clutch series of plays for the man to hold on to this center push, and now Globochem onto the back foot in a 3v5.
Oh, I just team killed, I think.
Good smokes coming out here, denying a lot of vision from Otto, forcing a deep rotation that may be able to get caught out by 404 as he charges the corner. A quick trade there opens up objective quite a bit, but unfortunately G-Men not really utilizing this. They do see Thunder on the rotation. Sri Lankan also in the smoke, does go down, and a Miracle Dev finds one with a team kill as well on the backside, and G-Men take the round on Cargo to kick off their comeback 1-0. Bit of a calm now in this storm. That first round not going the way of Globo has definitely slowed up the ready rate between rounds, as we do take all a minute and a half there to prep out a strategy most likely for Globochem. And I'm curious to see how they're going to attack this map, because I feel like Cargo, especially now with Season 8, really, you can excel a lot in this map with some real good teamwork. Some nicely placed smokes, a good coordinated push goes a long way on these close quarters maps. So curious to see how Globo will be able to square off again with those two reservists. It's a point I've been harping on because I do think it's an interesting one, but it doesn't seem to affect the Globo squad too much, taking that first map dominating fashion. Zach catching out an early pick here, proving G-Men's map choice. And you just see, because they have a strong on this Cargo map, weak on Tanker. Nade coming in from the man, up and over. A great toss, but finds no one. C4 detonated, a lot of utility going off here from G-Men, and the backside's completely open. Really weak defensive hole, and Sri Lankans charging in. Zach hears those footsteps a bit, maybe. He does turn there just to eye it, but Miracle Dev has his back completely exposed. Sri Lankan's going to try and go with the knife here. He does see the shield. Shots ringing out. He can't radio it in, and he goes down. Now will Zach Fontaine be aware? No, but Brass to Mouth is. Catches him in the back. Gattaca looking for the refrag on this rotation from Brass. Can't find it before he's tucked into the Cargo. And now they know where he's at. His shots ring out. The man picks him up. And Globo, with one left alive, into the 1v4.
Say again. Mid 4.
Patience from the man doesn't pay off with the rotating movements of Otto. Now he's into the 1v3. Does see another rotation from G-Man, and he's got 4.5 minutes to work with. I'm curious to see if he can manage to run this one back for his team. Three and a half on the clock. Otto, the lone survivo. All right, guys. I'll see you later. I'll just quit after that one. Going up against 3 G-men. Zach Fontaine, good eye on objective. Brass watching that back flank, and they seem to have a decent coverage. You can see the gap in the lines here is the center. Otto's going to have his easiest point of entry, but then he's going to have to contest against a couple of defenders, and it does seem like Otto's kind of aware of that. Does inch his way up here using this Cargo for cover. Slow, cautious crawling from Otto here, making sure he stays silent. Don't want any footstep indications from Zach. And the firefight's underway. Now Otto has a 1v3 scramble in his hands. They know where he is. He has 1:20 on the clock, so not a room to spare here. And they're getting a lot of trading going on between these two greats, which makes it a lot tougher to actually land full body shots. Otto rotates around off of the shield of Brass to Mouth, and he knows he has a minute left. Zach has his line of sight directly trained into this cargo crate. Does see Otto on the rotation, so Otto has lots of eyes on him now, and it's going to be tough for him to push in this objective, especially with Brass holding onto a shield on OBJ. A lot of quick peeking from Otto, too, saving his life here. Sprint peeking, but it's not enough as he does try to challenge the shield. 404 catches him. And G-Men running it back here on map number 2, 2-0. Can they keep this streak going is the question. Round number 3 is underway. Take a look at the KDs just before the action hits. Curious to see G-Man adopting a bit of a Globochem strategy, sending the two-man shield rifle duo together almost, I mean, pretty dang regularly.
Nothing, just pre-firing.
Starting to come in here, fragging the exit of the tunnel, making sure nobody's tucked into any of these corners or potentially behind any of these crates. That's going to be Man's #1 focus as he does peek out that exit, that doorway there. Sri Lankan doesn't really have eyes on. Raf doesn't really either, so might be an opportunity for the G-Men to inch their way out of that doorway there. Brass to Mouth and Zach Fontaine eager for a pick here.
See the peak?
Yeah. Draft.
And I mean, you want to talk about people that know their stuff and have studied the game enough. Nobody looks any different in this game, and they know that Raf is the one defending that position because G-Men have done enough homework. They know how Raf likes to play, what his style looks like, and Aid comes in here. Brass to Mouth able to tuck back in time. Zach putting the smoke out as well. Raf redirected one that was pretty well tossed. But here comes a lot of utility. Raf's getting denied vision. He's out on the rotation. Brass to Mouth now into the center. And it's a ton of smokes coming in from G-Men to try and push in on this objective, and it is doused. I'm not sure who has any vision. And I don't think Otto sees Brass to Mouth on the rotation. He's now on this backside inside. Sri Lankan does tag him. The push coming in, though. Zach's inside. Zach finds two. Raphael on the backside not pushing in yet. maybe playing it patiently as he does come around the corner, finds the back of Zach. The man ducks behind the shield, stays alive. Thunderpilot, the lone survivor of Globochem's defense, and now he is going up against the man with the shield who's trying to hold on, and a Miracle Dev catches him out, putting G-Men up 3-0 on map 2. This is it, though. This is the G-Men comeback. I'm not sure what happened on Tanker. I mean, they did put up some decent fights, but, I mean, Globo really did take that map in a pretty dominating fashion. And now G-Men answering back. I'm super curious to see what the map 3 is going to be. Reminder of the pick bans we have. See if G-Men can manage to really put off a nice comeback here to grab this second map, tying the overall score up 4-4 as we dive into round number 4. Map 2, 404. Kicking it off pretty good for G-Men. Picks off Raph and confirms him, and that's going to be the shield user gone, or at least one of them. They are running 2 as Gattaca also has a shield. Here come the utility from G-Men. Nade coming in, Molotov on the doorway there. Nice long range nade toss, not catching anybody out. Sri Lankan fortunate enough to be inside. Otto maybe second guessing this sort of rotation after experiencing quite a bit of pre-fire.
Or the pipeline highway.
C4 detonated mid-air, doesn't grab out anyone as the push hadn't come in yet. The man does grab Otto, and now Globo down to just these two. The fire coming in from all sorts of angles. A nice nade from Sri Lankan. Does grab Brass to mouth. Gattaca trying to push off of that success. Catches one, looks for two, grabs two, looks for three. Can he get it? Gets the reload off in time. Back to the shield. Doesn't get Brass on the rotation. 404 going to pick up the res, and the man on the backside catches him out, and Globo lose map number 2. G-Men taking it 4-0, and we are going to a best of 3 to see exactly what the heck's going on in this series. Because right now I'm just not quite sure which way this is going to go. Map number 3, the Decider. Not going to be Downfall like I was sort of had in my mind, but instead Bazaar. Is Globo's map pick, so they'll be starting off on Marsoc. G-Men into that bulk rotation early. We'll see if it does. I mean, I don't know. We've been seeing a lot of Marsoc rounds here, so pretty much anything's up in the air at this point. Very curious to see how Globo attack these objectives. I feel like team coordination on this map is super important. Watching beginners play this was really interesting, seeing them position all 5 into their spots before converging. Maybe that was on quarantine. But that sort of strategy does work very well on Bazaar, so we'll see if G-Men can sync up as 5, or if Globo can with their 2 reservists. Definitely a bit of a taller order for them, but they have been able to compete nonetheless. As you can see, taking Tanker 4-0, that was their map pick. Now we go back into their map pick. Momentum on G-Men's side, maybe we get things a bit more even here. No longer my good friends. Globochem and G-Men dive into the series decider, map number 1 of round 3. Or wow, whoa boy. Map 3, round 1. I think we're gonna see that, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. The setup attempt from Miracle Dev completely backfires, and the danger of trying to place the Molotov while it's on fire become evident. And you know, I wonder if that was fixed in the patch, but either way, it does not pay off, and he goes down to that attempted strat, and that's going to be a little bit of an early advantage for Globo on their map of choice. Not exactly how you want to kick things off in a series decider. Taking stock of the offensive positioning of Globo. About midway through, I think they got the fast spawn too, so curious to see them play it so conservatively here. Hop over to the man, because I think he's going to have some angles shortly. Bit of a calm before the storm, and I think Globo are doing a bit of a beginners-esque strat, dare I say it, positioning themselves around the objective. I'd say probably around 2 minutes we may see the push come in, but it could be even later than that at the pace that Gattaca and Raph are inching their way up to this center area. Gattaca, prone boy, and the man catches Otto trying to get a little aggressive. That's the position he was holding. That's what he was waiting for in that window, and he manages to instantly pick him off as he tries to come up the stairs. Good hold there from the man. Does even things out after that unfortunate burn. Now ties it up 4-4. Under aware of that second story position. Gattaca tuned in there and doesn't catch that rotation from the man because he's prone. Can't quite get the angle there. Although he did see the rotation, just didn't take shots. Raph in that window, looking hard for the man. C4 detonated. Zach Fontaine grabs Thunder. Off of that pickup, Sri Lankan starts his advancement forward on his east side. He's going to try and reinforce that east rotation, maybe help pinch the defense just a bit, but it's going to be tough. He's going to need the coordination from Raph and Gattaca, a reservist and a Globo team member, so the coordination is going to be hard to really sync up, although the smokes all are coming in at the same time. The man downing Raph inside Kayat. We missed that one, but it did happen just over there. Gattaca gets picked off by 404 in a trade down the lane, and now Sri Lankan beginning his advanced push here. Does have it free and clear. The man not really looking to peek, does decide to check and peeks out Sri Lankan, catching him and putting G-Men up 1-0 on the series decider. I don't think that was a minute and 20 between rounds there. Or a minute and 30, sorry, but either way, both squads readied up. Want to dive back into the action. They want to get this series decider underway, and I'm curious to see how it's going to shake out as we hop into round 2 of this third map. G-Men with the fast spawn. Curious to see how they utilize this.
Nobody crossed yet. Nobody crossed yet. One crossed. One's on it. That's it. Just one.
This forward position from Raph goes a bit risky. Does catch out one. Now he should be ready for the footsteps from Brass. Catches him out in a bit of a trade. But that is 2 for 1. A nice, valuable trade there. Thunder getting aggressive on the G-Men defense. Catching Miracle Dev on the side. And although there are some holes in their defense around objective, it's still looking really strong as it's now down to 2 for G-Men. Shots coming in onto the man, so they should know he's there on this lane now, and he's going to be in some trouble here. Ooh, a bit of a team fighting situation there. Footsteps do come in. The man catches out Thunder. Can't turn it and burn it and grabs Sri Lankan in time as Sri Lankan pushes in. Now it's all down to Zach Fontaine, who is in a decent position to be a threat to some of these defenders. Oh, wow. Pad out for Zach here. And I don't think this is going to go well. Otto is in a position where he can deny him the potential to cap there before he gets to that corner. I'm wondering if Zach... I think the smart play actually would be to have a knife out at the very least. He doesn't need his hand on the pad. Don't know if he's going to check his right here. He is. The pro plays. He gets Otto down with the knife, and Sri Lankan doesn't hear it. He's not going to check on the backside. And Zach Fontaine in the 1v3 gets the cap. What a play. Stunned on the desk. Wow. That right there is not something I think you would have seen if they had all 5 of their roster. I think if their communication... I mean, I don't even know. He knifed Otto in the corner. Sri Lankan had no idea he was down. He didn't have pad out in front of him. He was holding an angle. The same with whoever was on the backside there. But what a move from G-Men to go up 3-0 into their Volk round on the defense. And this is potentially series point for G-Men as we dive into round number 3. Thunder Auto, relatively unfazed, still leading the squad, as you'd expect. They contribute their success on Tanker to that ability of Auto and Thunder to lead very successfully, and I do anticipate them to put up a good fight here for this final round. I mean, they have to now. The series is on the line. Interesting. Someone explain this strat to me. Because I don't know how Raph can see. But I sure can't. Maybe that just helps him identify inside the rooms. I'm curious now. I bet you it just highlights enemies in the room real well, making everything else pretty tough to see but the enemy. Curious strat there from Raph. He does undeploy it, though. As you can see, he's not running around with night vision on, so I don't know what the concept there is. Curious if anyone in chat is aware of what he's trying to do. There's Sri Lankan checking the south as Thunder inches his way up here, and G-Men just have to hold tight on defense, make sure no caps come in. They don't allow a Globochem comeback here, because that's what Globo's looking for. Brass to mouth, caught out by Thunder on the rotation. A nice refrag from the man, but now his position relatively exposed. Gattaca tuned in here, trying to ID if he can ID the enemy there, see if he can spot the man. The man does have a couple pallets here to block vision, and I don't think he's going to be able to see through any movement there, so nothing really exposing the man to that angle until they're too far out from cover, and I don't know if those smokes are going to be good enough for Gattaca and Sri Lankan. Nade comes out, the push from Otto on the window does grab one. Sri Lankan drops back, avoiding that frag, and a huge pickup for Globochem, opening up a decent angle for them to approach from. Globo's now going to deploy the smoke on the corner there. Common strat we started to see more and more, and a Miracle Dev's going to have to hold on to this south position. That seems to be the focus for Globochem. One in middle bazaar, and I'm curious to see if the rotation from G-Men is going to come out, as they are into this 3v4 now on the back foot. Otto seriously threatening the defensive position of 404. Zach Fontaine does not see the cross from Otto either, so a huge move there. He does get past the vision of Zach. Down he goes. Frag there from Otto into a 2v4. Globochem seriously with a cap opportunity here, a cap-portunity as we call it. Will they go for it? Shots from the backside from Otto towards Miracle Dev don't quite land. Miracle Dev looking for the frag, can't land it. Gattaca's here on OBJ. Will 404 respond in time? I don't think he will. This could be a 2 points for Gattaca. The reservist being able to punch in the code and put Globochem back on the map. Can 404 deny it? He does, just in time. Now they're looking at an opportunity to snag the series if Miracle Dev can hold on. He's got shots from the backside from Raphael, and he's in a sandwich position here, trying to deal with Otto and Raph, one both on his opposite side. He's really in a bit of a sandwich here. Does hear the footsteps there from Otto. Is going to rotate around. Raph, fortunate enough not to catch him out there, does get caught out by Otto on the side, and Globo mounting their comeback, get on the board for Bazaar. And I'm going to take a breather. Wow, this is a fun final map for this series. Globochem nearly dumping in a cap there. I mean, shoot, Gattaca was probably on the last digit before 404 denied him the ability to punch in the code there, but Globochem with a good answer back, a crucial answer back. Stay in this series, and we're now 3-1. Them on the Globochem on the defensive as we get into round 4. Taking stock of the offensive positioning, 404 catching out Gattaca pretty early on the south. Gattaca was going for, oh, interesting. A super aggressive play here. This is something that we've seen baited before, where the smokes are thrown and nothing's moved off of it. But this time Gattaca did try to cross the street, and the man was fortunate enough to catch that out between the smokes. And Gattaca does have comms there, so he's actually in a decent place to radio in. Excuse me, jeez. He's in a decent place to radio and in some key information. He'll be able to identify if anybody's at white car, if Brass to Mouth's peeking. Be able to call in for a bit of an airstrike, if you will. A nice nade toss on that white car could be the end of Brass to Mouth. Not sure who would be able to toss it. Maybe Thunder Pilot or Auto. Either way, we'll go on board 404, who's rotated along to the north side, and see how this north advance is going. He is the sole push over here, and there is one defender who is watching this lane, so he might have some competition here relatively soon. Bit of a lull in the intense action that has been this final map. G-Men just trying to analyze and assess. They've managed to catch Gattaca out. Don't know that he's still able to radio and information, although I'm sure Brass to Mouth will have heard anything at this point. Miracle Dev shooting at one of his teammates, actually almost grabbing 404 there. Super fortunate that he missed those shots.
Sorry.
The man, too, almost taking out Brass to Mouth. G-Men trying to throw this series. Clearly the pressure is on here, and the trigger fingers are sensitive. Incredibly lucky they're not looking at a 3v4 right now. Gattaca does go down, so no more info from him on the streets. We'll see now what G-Men's plan is. 2:30 on the clock. I expect them to begin their push relatively soon. Fontaine's going to join Miracle on the backside, likely with the man as well. Pretty good smokes going out. Really nicely denying vision there. Oh, and that smoke's gonna bloom just perfectly right onto Thunder, forcing him out just a little bit out of his comfort zone on the corner. Actually, no, a scratch light is just not, it's not gonna deny enough vision. It would deny him from the flank, actually. Interesting enough, and 404 goes down from a team kill onto Zach Fontaine. Sri Lankan confirming 404, and Zach is coming in onto this back side. He has the smoke to deny him vision. Curious to see what route he takes. Otto here behind these bricks, waiting for this push to happen. I'm sure he'll pop up once he hears any sort of mischief. Otto's looking for anything on this smoke. Miracle Dev getting close to a position with Thunder. Zach getting a huge pick on objective. May cause Thunder to think rotation, but he doesn't. He stays diligent, grabs Brass to mouth. And now it's up to a Miracle Dev and Zach Fontaine on objective. Zach goes down to Sri Lankan as he was trying to punch in the code by the bricks, and now it's up to Miracle Dev. Although he does have another, the man as well to support him from the center. Only got 56 seconds left. Miracle knows Thunder's on this corner. I think his best approach is to just charge it, see if he can win the trade, and then try and put pressure onto objective, although he is going to need to deny Raph any sort of opportunity on the shots, and the man might just be the person to do it. "38 seconds now on the clock. Patience. Not something that G-Men can utilize much longer, and I doubt the man's going to be ready for Raph on this corner. Raph does spot him, though, peeks around, grabs the man. Miracle Dev tries to push out. Thunder with the backside rotation keeps Globochem in the series, and now they're up to 3. Oh, wow. I need a drink. I'm starting to sweat over here. It's getting so intense. If you are just dropping by, well, you've missed quite an interesting series. Globochem dominating on Tanker, G-Men running it back on Cargo, and now Bazaar has shaped up to be quite a barn burner. With a cap from G-Men and nearly a cap from Globochem, we hop back into the action for round number 5 of map number 3, the series decider. The #1 team worldwide versus number 6. There's a big opportunity for G-Men to take some MMR here. Not one they're going to want to let slip through their fingers as Globochem try and win the series with 2 reservists.
Oh, that was fucking terrible. I did it close. I'll do the fucking far one.
Couple of smokes do come out. Some pre-fire from both sides. Rather not pre-fire, but an exchange of fire along that south lane. The man trying to deny the cross here, and the smokes are not looking good for Globochem. This is a must-win round for them. All G-Men have to do is stay tight on their defense and not allow Globo to come in and get this cap.
He went from pocket.
One's at the palace in the green smoke.
Thunder does manage to get into kill box. He could be a serious threat there as he catches out 404. Rotating back and forth between the crates. Zach Fontaine is keyed in, but he can't really hold that angle for long. The backside there getting picked up by Raph, so got to be careful checking this kill box room. He'd be able to ID Thunder rotating a little bit interestingly back and forth here. Yeah, I definitely think he saw some peek going on there. Problem is he's super exposed to some other angles, so it's risky for him to hold this for too long and not check the middle bazaar or the east there. He 100% knows there's one on the corner. And there he goes, almost getting picked up for holding that angle for too long. Nade does come in, the shots ring out, but not quite close. There's the shot from Zach, does grab out Thunder Pilot, and the East rotation is going to start to come in, and will Miracle Dev be able to deny it? Globochem now with 4v5, Sri Lankan and Raf going to be making this East attempt happen. That was a couple of words that didn't go together. Also make sure that we keep an eye over on Otto, making his push on the opposite side of the map. I didn't even actually see, oh yeah, I forgot that there was that early pickup from Otto. G-Man actually into a 4v4 right now. Things are even. Trying to keep tabs on the entirety of this Globochem squad. We also do have one inching his way up in the center, and that's Gattaca. I think Gattaca might have an angle pretty soon as well. Trying to find one, at the very least inside there. There it is, Gattaca does grab the man, putting G-Man into a 3v4. It's gonna be a big pickup, but Zach able to grab one as well. Otto, so dangerously close to Zach there. I wonder if he's gonna try and sneak the cap. Oh my goodness, is Zach gonna rotate in time to catch this? Otto's looking on the rotation, and Zach managing to deny Otto the opportunity to sneak in and cap, and now it's all gonna come down to the East as Miracle Dev grabs Sri Lankan and the entirety of the series onto the weight of Raphael. I don't think I've seen Globochem lose two maps in regular, or lose two series in regular season ever. Someone's going to have to do the numbers on that, but I'm pretty confident in saying that. I don't think Globochem have lost two series in a regular season ever in the VR Master League. G-Man looking at the opportunity to do just that. What is Raf's course of action? We've seen Globo. They're very capable of running a comeback. Brass to Mouth almost able to get the series right there. And does catch out Raphael and G-Men. Take the series against Globochem. Number 6 worldwide beats number 1 worldwide. And you can bet your bottom dollar that G-Men will be advancing into that top 5 spot position worldwide, but wow. What a series to behold, ladies and gentlemen. I am super glad that we did manage to catch this one. I do apologize to SMC for their wavering on that game, but I have to make those tough calls sometimes. Just pick up what you're able to grab. a bit of what I expected, honestly. I mean, I was anticipating back and forth. I was anticipating a very good series here. I'm incredibly impressed with how well Globochem were able to battle against a fully forced G-Men with 2 reservists. That's super impressive. Shout out to Gattaca and Sri Lankan for putting up quite a good battle and for playing with the #1 team worldwide. Definitely a bit of a pressure on your shoulders if you are not used to that sort of thing. So a good job to them, and a real nice attempt from Globo, but ultimately not enough in the end. G-Men taking the full series 8-6. I mean, in terms of scores, it's probably one of the lower scores you can have. I mean, 2 points shy of being the lowest score possible. And we played fewer rounds than that, too, because of the caps that happened. So, I don't know. A fast and slow match at the same time. An average match time overall, but a fantastic series to behold in G-Men. What a great pickup for them. This should be a decent MMR boost, and I'm curious to see how the rankings get shook up with those MMR adjustments. You can bet your bottom dollar beginners back on the #1 spot. I'm sure they're happy to see that. I mean, geez, I don't think it's ever been so volatile in the top 5, top 10 like it has this season. So now is a good time to be watching Onward, to sign up for a team, get your team ready, try and join the reservist pool. Shoot, you could be playing for Globochem. You never know, so a lot of opportunities there. I think that's going to be it from me tonight. My voice is starting to go. The series has worn its course. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you want to get involved in the league, head on over to vrmasterleague.com/onward. You can register for a team. You can join the reservist pool, which you saw quite active today and yesterday, I think, or against SMC the last week. Jeez, the last game I cast. And it's definitely something worthwhile joining if you do want to play competitively but don't have the time to join a team. Also, you'll find the Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook links so you can get involved in the community. I do recommend, obviously, join the Discord. It is the best way to be a reservist and to be part of that pool. And follow the channel. Sub if you have Twitch Prime. Make sure to come back for more Onward action, because there is going to be more tomorrow, I believe. Tomorrow or Saturday. We also have other leagues firing up now. The Final Assault VR Master League has begun its Season 2. Last season they offered 1,000 in prize money. I do anticipate that to be more this season. So if you do want to get involved in Final Assault and looking at a chance to earn yourself a little cash in prize money, take a gander at that league as well. We do cast from time to time, and will be doing a cast on Saturday. So if you want to see what the competitive scene looks like, make sure to tune in then. Final Assault VRML. With that, I'll be signing off. Shout out to our sponsors real quick, VR Cover and Pro2 VR. We always appreciate the support. Looking forward to seeing you guys at OC6. Should be really fun. Looking forward to seeing everybody at Oculus Connect 6. I will be there. The majority of the casting team will be there. It's going to be a very good time. Make sure you say hi. Make sure you get involved in the community pictures that are going to be going on. All of that good stuff. Best way to stay up to date is Discord and the socials, so make sure you're following them. And we will see you with more Onward VRML action in just a few days. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's. Signing off. We'll see you later.